Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping.
10 important reasons why McDonald's is always so cheap. It's so convenient to get a cheeseburger at McDonald's for $1, right? Especially on those rainy days when you've got nothing but $1 to your name and you're hella hungry. But have you ever wondered how McDonald's does it? How are they able to sell so much food for so little? Well, today, we'll be taking a look at the 10 ways McDonald's is able to make billions of dollars in profit, yet sell their Happy Meals for practically throwaway prices. Number 10. McDonald's sells the biggest profit-turning food items. Yes, McDonald's sells its food for a very small price tag, but that doesn't mean that they're not making a killing from it. Take, for example, soda and coffee. These beverages cost the restaurant just a few cents per cup when purchased wholesale, but it charges several dollars for each. In fact, restaurant soda has a 1,150% markup, while coffee has a staggering 2,900% markup. And don't forget about bottled water, which McDonald's also sells. That item splits the difference with a 2,000% price increase. But it's not just beverages where McDonald's is making the big bucks. The restaurant sells numerous egg-based breakfast items. The average price of a dozen eggs is $1.32, which comes to 11 cents per egg. Even if you added the cost of other ingredients, it's hard to see McDonald's paying more than $1 to make a breakfast sandwich. Yet they charge about $3 to $4 for them. So you can see how the profits just keep piling up. Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and you will get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it, it really works. Number 9. They buy food stock at wholesale prices. The golden rule of grocery shopping is that buying in bulk and at wholesale prices is always cheaper than buying for one sitting. So you can imagine buying for thousands of locations. You'll begin to understand just how little McDonald's has to pay for ingredients compared to everyone else. In fact, McDonald's is the world's largest buyer of beef, pork, potatoes, lettuce, and tomatoes. They're also the second largest purchaser of chicken after the one and only KFC. Because McDonald's buys so much food, any supplier would want their business. Therefore, these businesses offer the fast food giants steep discounts on products. They're essentially buying the ingredients they need at wholesale prices. McDonald's can then turn around and pass on some of those savings to the customer, resulting in some very inexpensive food. Number 8. McDonald's uses cheap ingredients. Not only does McDonald's get steep discounts on their ingredients, they also source ingredients that are cheap to begin with. Take McDonald's eggs, for example. Although they've begun to phase them out, McDonald's has historically and continues to use caged eggs. According to its site, only 12 million of the 2 billion eggs McDonald's serves in the United States each year are cage-free. The cost of producing cage-free eggs is significantly higher than caged eggs. Farms have to upgrade their facilities and pay more in labor, not to mention the fact that hens produce fewer eggs when roaming free. Another way McDonald's sources cheap ingredients is by booking overseas. The company buys many of its ingredients from foreign countries. When purchasing food items from a third world country, it costs McDonald's less than had they done so from a domestic producer. Number 7. Partners offer discounts to McDonald's. McDonald's has more than 36,000 locations around the world, making it the second largest fast food chain on Earth. It's also one of the globe's most recognizable brands. From a financial and marketing standpoint, any company would love to be in business with McDonald's, and those that do pay a premium for that opportunity. A prime example of this is McDonald's use of Coca-Cola products. The two companies forged a relationship decades ago. Since then, Coca-Cola has been the restaurant's soft drink provider. For this right, the beverage company offers McDonald's steep discounts on their products. And according to the New York Times, Coke sales teams are not allowed to sell their soda syrup to other restaurants for less than what McDonald's pays. And there are other benefits to this relationship. Over the years, many people have suggested that McDonald's serves the best tasting Coke. Turns out, there's a good reason for that. While Coca-Cola delivers its syrup to other restaurants in plastic bags, McDonald's receives it in stainless steel tanks, creating a fresher and tastier soda. Number 6. Using preservatives prevents McDonald's from losing money on food waste. Fast food restaurants commonly use artificial preservatives in their ingredients. These chemicals work by preventing mold, yeast, and other harmful organisms from growing in food, thus prolonging the ingredient's shelf life. However, there is concern that some of these preservatives may not be safe to eat in the long term. In 2016, McDonald's removed preservatives from their McNuggets. 2 years later, they did the same to their 7 classic hamburgers. But let's be honest, there's still a long shot from phasing out preservatives completely. Roughly 1/3 of the chain's menu still contains artificial preservatives, including popular items such as the Egg McMuffin, Bacon, Egg and Cheese Biscuit, Bacon, Egg and Cheese McGriddles, and the Filet-O-Fish. These preservatives ensure that McDonald's ingredients don't spoil. This, in turn, saves them a significant amount on food cost. As a matter of fact, did you know that restaurants in the United States throw out more than $160 billion worth of food each year? Number 5. They employ cheap labor. While it is by no means commendable, McDonald's has one of the lowest wages in the American market. On average, fast food workers make $8.92 per hour. Working 40 hours a week for 52 weeks per year, an average fast food worker would make about $18,500 per year. Now, considering that the median annual wage in the United States is $38,640, that's pretty darn low. Instead of having skilled chefs or cooks who would require higher salaries, the company depends on unskilled workers whom they train. But paying minimum wage, or slightly above, seems to be too big a price for McDonald's. Over the past several years, McDonald's has slowly begun integrating self-service into their restaurants. These digital ordering platforms obviously do not require a salary, thus they'll eliminate some fast food jobs, further reducing expenses for McDonald's. Number 4. They sell a lot of food. McDonald's makes its money by selling a lot of cheap food. A business can make more money by lowering the price of an item if the increase in demand is greater than the decrease in price. This is where it helps that McDonald's serves so many people. It's also why McDonald's will do everything to get you your food as quickly as possible. They even teach their employees and shape their menu around this principle. They are trained to go as fast down the line as they can. Number 3. McDonald's uses its cheap food to attract consumers. McDonald's can offer cheap food because it's used as a marketing gimmick to lure you in. Then on average, it ends up getting you to spend more. Asking, "Would you like fries with that?" is probably the most well-known upselling tactic. And it works. In fact, customers will eat 85% more when servers offer them more food. Training employees to try to get customers to add items to their order is just one technique McDonald's uses. Truth is, there's no limit to what the restaurants will do when it comes to upselling. In 2019, it purchased a technology company that will essentially help them give their menu boards artificial intelligence. The software will change what food is displayed on the drive-thru based on factors such as time of day, weather, and trending items. In the morning, for example, hash browns and coffee will be prominently displayed. If it's hot outside, a vanilla shake will be front and center. McDonald's is banking that they can lure you in with their value meal, and then once you lay eyes on another desirable item, you will most likely buy it. So now we've come to the best pick of the day. McDonald's burgers are some of the most common burgers on the planet. While they may not be the best tasting, they definitely keep you satisfied when you've got nothing but $1 in your name. Man, this takes me back to my freshman days in college. Number 2, McDonald's is a multi-billion real estate company. For years, there's been a rumor going around that McDonald's is actually a real estate company masquerading as a fast food empire. Most fast food franchises sell their name, branding, and proprietary formulas in exchange for a share of the franchisee's profits. McDonald's does the same, but with one additional corporate-friendly policy. Franchisees must pay McDonald's rent. That's because the company owns the physical property of most of its locations. The business model is simple. The company buys up cheap locations, then leases them to the franchisees. The issue is that McDonald's finances these transactions using fixed rates, but charges leases using variable rates, meaning lease payments continue to rise over the years even though the cost to McDonald's doesn't change. The truth is that McDonald's can sell food for as little money as it wants, and as long as the doors are open, it's gonna make money. Welcome to Cutthroat Business 101, people. Number 1, McDonald's also makes a ton of money from other franchisee fees. It's not just rent that McDonald's takes in from its franchisees. The company reaps massive dollars from their outsourced locations and other fees. If you want to open a McDonald's restaurant, it'll cost you a cool $45,000 up front. After you set up shop, you'll still have to pay the mothership 4% of your gross sales each month. As long as the restaurant is making any money, McDonald's Corporation is making money. In 2018, McDonald's brought in fees, royalties, and rent from franchised restaurants to the tune of $11 billion. The company doesn't care if they lose $1 on a cheeseburger. They're making billions just by selling them. You might be asking yourself, why would anyone want to open a McDonald's if so much money just gets sent right back to the corporate office? It's because there's still plenty of cash to be made. McDonald's has an unrivaled brand identity. It's so well known and serves so many customers that owners can still make a nice profit. For example, the average McDonald's location makes roughly $2.7 million in annual sales. After all the costs, expenses, fees, and rent, each franchise had a total operating income just north of $150,000. Not a bad payday if you ask me. And with that being said, we've come to the end of this video. Are you gonna plan opening a McDonald's soon? Let us know in the comments section down below. Want more videos that'll exist until the end of time? Click on any of the videos that you see on the screen. As always, thanks for watching.